Adrian, what is the difference between a Catholic priest and Woody from Toy Story?
I don't know.
Woody goes limp when a child walks in the room.
Damn. Fucking damn.
G'day, this is the Two Beards Wrexham Podcast, your go-to for all things Wrexham AFC. Join us as we chat about the highs and lows of our favourite footy club. She'll be right, mate. G'day, Beard Brailer and Sheila's, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. Here we are for another week, a very happy week of Two Beards Wrexham Podcast. Adrian, my host over there, co-host, mate, been through the wars today, eh?
Oh yeah, just a bit under the weather, like voice going in and out, but it's back for now, so that's the main thing. And the boy, I don't give a shit. Wrexham won, so it doesn't matter what you're going through this week. It's we're walking on sunshine at this point.
Walking on sunshine the way good old Scottish Viking Jesus walks on defenders. But
Exactly.
we can't wait to break down that game. Oh, that was
Like, but it's like Jesus walked on water, but yeah, you're right. Like Scottish Viking Jesus walks on defenders. Like that's his fucking miracle.
all righty. Well, we're going to get straight into this episode. So, with a bit of housekeeping that we do every single week, guys, we have a fuckhead program, or we call it our fuckhead program. It's a patron program, and it's for our fans, our diehard fans that want to help support what we do and support our podcast. So, if this sounds like you, links will be in the description down below or twobeardsmedia.com. Costs you $5 a month, but we also give back for that. You get 10% discount off our merch store. You get shout outs on the pod every week. You get access to our fans only Discord, and you get giveaways in the Discord as well for our fuckheads. And we give
For our
them a shout out
fuckheads.
every single week, don't we, Adrian?
Mate, I'm keen. I'm keen. I'm going to start off with our brand new fuckhead, Dan. Dan the man. Thank you. He's joined up on the program. If you are listening to this, we've sent you a welcome pack email. You're more than welcome to join in on the Discord there and join in on the antics that are Rousey's late night Instagram posts that just perplex me, but they're fucking hilarious. We've also got Sarah, John, Will, Reese, Jake, Ryan, Chris, other Chris, and Adrian. I'm pretty sure I haven't left anyone out. If I have, fucking stone me,
Oh, they'll lynch you in the Discord.
mate. I'll just take it on board and just throw punches. Aaron, oh shit!
Did you see that
Got it.
latest post from me that I posted in the Discord today?
Yep, yep,
Yeah, it's rather catchy little theme, isn't it?
yeah. I'll look and for those of us who are wondering what the fuck we're on about, you only find out if you are. So no, that's fucking like dodge. But like
That's right. $5 a month.
for $5 a month for actual mental health damage because it's like it's so fucking poor Sarah just this week had to see some posts. Oh, saw a post from Rousey and her post was fucking spot on. It was like, I can't unsee this.
All right. Well, let us get on to reviewing the weekend's game, which obviously, as you know, was against Morecambe, and it was an away game as well.
Shrimps.
So, oh, we've got a lot to say. So, let's get right into it after this.
Do it.
Woo.
Let's do it.
Adrian,
Mm-hmm.
I really, really want to get into this next bit and break down Morecambe. Um,
But
but
yep,
something's happened.
yep.
Something has happened,
Knew it was coming.
mate. Just never a dull moment with Wrexham, I tell you. But
Never a dull fucking moment.
I'm going to go straight out here and be like fucking numpty of the week. And I mean, this guy
Wow.
is literally taking numpty of the fucking decade. Um, for
Wow.
those
We
of
said
you
that
that
about
don't
Andy
know what
last week.
yeah, I know. I know. I couldn't think Andy Holt could get much worse. I mean, he's gone for numpty of the week twice and got it twice. But this one, none other than Simon motherfucking Jordan. You fuck knuckle. I
Yeah,
cannot
he's a
believe.
cunt.
It's just okay. So for those of you that aren't aware, he went on TalkSport. You can find it on YouTube, and he absolutely went in on Wrexham. It was got to do with the new deal that the EFL has actually secured for global broadcasting rights or
Yep.
broadcasting rights into America and that. And for some reason, he's like, "Oh, Wrexham are out saying that they're the reason that this has happened." I'm like, motherfucker, who the fuck has said that?
Who? What
Who?
press release? What tweet? What
Yeah,
post?
what
Fucking idiot.
tweet? What post? What a fucking okay. And then he goes
And
in
then,
and he can't even mention Rob McElhenney by name. He just says
no.
the other guy who carries Ryan's handbag. You fucking knob jockey. Like, I'm just I'm sitting here listening to this guy and he's saying all this absolutely toxic shit
Yeah.
about Rob and Ryan and reckons, oh, they won't stay long and rah 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 and saying that how it's not just Wrexham that have helped secure the deal and all that sort of stuff. And saying that like Rob McElhenney carries Ryan's handbag. I mean, bitch, seriously, if you're gonna go in on Wrexham, if you're gonna think that you have a right to fucking say something about football, learn what the fuck you're talking about. You're done fucked up.
Nah,
Fucking
man.
dead.
I think the biggest thing about this, mate, out of this entire thing is that he's getting what he wants, basically. And it's the same with what Andy Holt's doing. It's attention-seeking bullshit. He's becoming irrelevant. He's on TalkSport. He's realizing he's irrelevant, but he knows his trigger words.
It was irrelevant when he fucking put Crystal Palace into the dirt, dumb cunt. Seriously.
Exactly.
He should
But
not have anything to say about football, ever. So,
yeah, you're right.
he wants to spit venom and say all this bullshit. And it's just, look, he tried to even defend himself against a Wrexham supporter that called through, right?
Yeah.
And look, I think he put the Wrexham supporter on on the spot a little bit.
Yeah.
But what the point was is that what he was saying about the club was just vile. It was disrespectful, and just downright fucking dumb and stupid. And for the other thing, we are not on fucking Netflix. Get it right.
Yeah, I love that one. That's my favorite thing ever is that they don't even know what streaming service, but they're like, oh, but it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. That's the point. We don't know because we don't care. It's like, well, you care enough to bring it up on your talk show. You care enough to be like, because here's the thing. It is a trigger word. He knows the clicks happen when you mention Wrexham. He knows clicks happen when you mention Ryan Reynolds. And that's why he mentioned specifically Ryan Reynolds. And he said, I'm pretty sure, quoting this, is he said exactly what he said, which was Ryan Reynolds has come out saying he's the reason. Where has he said that ever? If anything, he is, but he's too humble to mention it, by the way. So let's just put that on the table. He's the reason the National League has any subscribers at all really outside the clubs that are there right now. I'll be real. I'm still subscribing because I like to catch a Dorking match every so often just because I like their jib. But fucking Wrexham put the EFL on the global map and you cannot change my mind. And I don't give a fuck. They're like, but they're saying, I'm like, no, they're not saying that the other clubs aren't monumental. They're not saying that Leeds aren't one of the biggest clubs ever. They're not talking about Millwall being a shit club. They're not. We're not saying that at all. What we're saying is in America, EFL just wasn't there. It wasn't big. It wasn't a thing. Now in America, because of a Disney Plus fucking show run by the Rob McElhenney and fucking Ryan Reynolds. That's why it's on the map, and they can't fathom it. They hate it. They're like, oh, but it's our beautiful game, and you're ruining it, and it's on the map for the wrong reason. So we're just going to say it was the other clubs that did it, so that we'll still take the EFL money. And the TalkSport people. Here's the thing. This is a shout out for you, TalkSport. You'll still take the money though, no? They're like, well, we don't see any of that money, but you do, because what happens is you get more money to the clubs, which gets more money in viewership. Viewership gets spread around, and then it gets to your talk show, and there's more listeners and more international listeners, and then therefore more Wrexham listeners who will be listening to your vile bullshit and will call you out, much like that caller did. So fuck that guy off sideways.
And they fucking they go and tag Wrexham in every single fucking post they do on YouTube.
Yeah.
They put in the tag of Wrexham. You go look at their analytics and their history. They're tagging Wrexham. They're not tagging any other EFL club. They're tagging Wrexham because it's that Wrexham gets clicks. But Simon Jordan, learn what the fuck you're talking about before you open your goddamn fucking mouth. Jesus, like just fucking idiot. Straight up knob jockey. You go fucking stone the flaming crows. I tell you what a fuckhead. Anyway, I've been stewing over this for the last week, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put my creative brain to good use here.
Oh, here we go.
I've written something. Now, I don't pretend to be a homie or down G or anything like that, but
Jesus Christ,
I've written a little rap.
Oh, rap!
I'm going to.
Oh shit! I have to quit before this comes out.
So I've written a little rap, just for people's ears and listening, and you know, I don't know if I can put a beat over this in post, but I'll give it.
Here we go. No, I'll do it. I got you. No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that at all. At all.
All right. So it goes like this. All right. So we'll put some. Yeah, God, I can't believe I'm doing this. But anyway,
just read it. Just
do it. Just fucking do it. Right. Let's do this. All right. It goes like this. Oi, listen up, mate. I've got a bone to pick. Simon Jordan, you're just a toxic prick. Dishing dirt on Wrexham AFC, but your words ain't nothing, just empty debris. Your wash-up owner couldn't handle the beat. Crystal Palace crumbled, laid at your feet. Now you're in the media, acting all bold, but your venomous tongue's just getting fucking old. Simon Jordan, you're a joke. Spewing garbage, going for broke. Wrexham Warriors will never bow. Your negativity will just disavow. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds, they're the real deal. Breathing life into Wrexham, forging steel. You're just jealous, drowning in envy's pool. While they're building empires, you're playing the fucking fool. You criticise, but what's your game? Just a bit of pom with no claim to fame. From your fake throne, you sling your hate, but Wrexham's spirit is far too fucking great. Simon Jordan, you're a joke. Spitting venom, trying to provoke. Wrexham's rebels will stand tall. Your negativity will ignore it all. So just keep on yapping, keep on rising. Wrexham's raw, it's mesmerizing. You can't break us, we're too strong. Rob and Ryan leading the throng. Simon Jordan, you're a fucking joke. Barking nonsense, going for broke. Wrexham's Warriors, we're going to stand tall. Your negativity will kick it all. So Simon, take a hike. Go find a wall. Wrexham AFC, we will never fall. Your words mean nothing, just hot air. So fuck off, mate. We don't care.
Okay, for the listeners out there who are like, this was rehearsed. No, it wasn't. He's just brought this to me, just out of fucking the blue. And I was wondering why he wanted to start with it. I'm like, why does he want to do this now before we talk about the game? I get it. And I'll commend you. Your linguistics hold up pretty strong, and I think you might have a little job as a poet or some form. But you know what? I think the main point of that is really, really fucking poignant, which, you know, you repeated those words multiple times, but for a really poignant point, you know, literally venom, like spitting that venom, negativity, and literally like Wrexham or Warriors right now. Like they're literally just trying to climb the ranks without this fucking bullshit visceral that's happening, in the background. And I guarantee the club does not give a fuck what that guy says. And we say it because we like to get animated because we love our club and we want to protect the fucking legacy that's being put in place right now by these guys, Ryan and Rob. And it's not to be like we want to polish their knob. It's just that we want to basically keep that legacy intact and not let it be tainted by people making up lies, making up stories that these people are only in it for, the fucking money and this, that, the other. They do it because it was a sound investment at the time. And now they've actually realized what it is. It's not just a club. It's a town. It's not just a town. It's now a city. It is everything that is about wearing the red shirt.
It is a fucking movement.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Like, I think the biggest thing about this entire shit that happens, and he's not the only one, and he won't be the last either. As we climb the ranks, different people will start to come out, and you'll find that different owners will come out as well, and different high-profile figures. I'm just going to put it out there. People like, who else have we got? We've got like teams that'll probably be going down and meeting us very soon. People who have got links to it, e.g., Burnley, for example, are not looking too hot right now, and we might meet them sometime soon. And they've got people like, JJ Watt, I think. You've got obviously other teams that have that, and they'll try and make themselves relevant from it. And not to say that they're not relevant themselves, but they'll use any platform to just shit on Wrexham because it's just jealousy at this point. It's just pure jealousy. Yeah. And they cannot they don't want to know that the worldwide popularity is from little old Wrexham. They want it to be from the entire league. And it is from the entire conference, association of the EFL. Like it is the entire thing. But you cannot say that Wrexham wasn't one of those that brought it. You cannot say that with a straight face, and he won't. And he'll come out next week, and I'm sure eventually he'll get a mention in the doco, and eventually he'll bring it back to being himself.
I hope they fucking see that. I hope they will clip that.
Yeah, they will. And they'll use it for like any bit. It's like they're not going to stick around, and then it'll have them, 3 years time, in the fucking Premier League watching, cut to that kind of shit. Like these are the kind of historical moments that you think aren't that historical. They're not. This is just a guy waffling on a radio station like us on the pod. His take is as good as ours at this point, but the way I look at it is that eventually these people are going to look really fucking stupid. And they think we are. They think that the fans are going to look dumb because they're going to leave any minute now. They're going to run out of patience, whatever, and they're just going to fuck off. They would never do that. Literally, if they actually gave a shit about the story itself, they would understand what they're putting into that town. And
yeah, Simon Jordan, fuck
no,
you. Stupid ass motherfucker. Seriously.
He makes me want to drink.
That's something completely different that I've never done before. And I thought it took me a little while to write and a few different iterations and all that, but we'll see. I mean, hey.
It might be a weekly thing if people like it, or they might tell the white guy from Australia to shut the fuck up. Who knows? But I like it. I think it was good, and I'm hoping the others agree with me because that was actually really, really well done.
Righto. So we played Morecambe on the weekend.
Righto.
Fucking Morecambe.
Good old shrimps.
Fucking shrimps. Yeah. Wow. What a game. What a game. That was. Yeah. Is this a turning point? Are we going to have a good run into the end of the season? Yep. These are questions we got to be asking. I mean, to go away at Morecambe and fucking put them to the sword the way we did. And I said this on this other pod, on the after 90. I'm like, we just fucking dismantled them. Straight up dismantled them. It was never even close. We had their number, and they had. I mean, they were supposed to be an informed team, and we fucked them up big time, didn't we?
Well, I wouldn't say that for the first half, but yeah, definitely second half. I mean, after the classic Wrexham conceding within what 4 minutes,
Mm.
just how many times this year have we? This year alone have we said that? You know what I mean? Like it's just classic Wrexham. Then for us to get the equaliser, but then biggest thing for me, mate, is like you said, it is we had their number. That's it. Simple as that. We had their number. We knew we had their number. We just, we're not we're not great starters, really. Like in history,
Mm.
we're
But
not really getting that foot off on the pedal.
but 2 games in a row we've started with Mullen and Palmer up front, and 2 games in
And
a
we
row
win.
we've won.
Yep.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. No, we've said it for fucking weeks, mate. We've said it for fucking weeks. And the thing is, it's not like we're the fucking pioneers behind it either. Everyone said it. Every pod,
Everyone.
every news outlet, everyone except for Parky. and now it's like, oh, okay.
So that
This is the way
first
to do
goal
it.
against McLean, I mean that pass through the two
From Mullen.
defenders from Mullen was clinical, absolutely clinical. Popped it right onto McLean, and McLean just slotted it away. You're never missing that. But it was a good goal. I mean, he had to go through a defender and a goalkeeper who were dead in front of him.
Yeah.
And
It
he
was still a
just
great finish.
guided it in. That's the shit that makes you hard.
But it's we messaged each other the morning after, and we were just like, it's the players that we love, know and love of this club that are standing up. It's the McLeans of the world, it's the Mullins of the world, it's the Scottish Viking Jesuses of the world, making their claim. And honestly, we said it is a do or die clash in the sense that if we're going to make any fucking run right now, yes, not all of the games didn't go our way. If we had a lost, it would have been very costly, but I think it is the turning point. We do have a very hard game, and we'll go into that in a minute anyways, but we have a very hard game coming up, but that's the lineup, right? Like that's been successful 2 weeks in a row. None, I don't think there was any changes from what I understood. It was just well played across the board. But I would love to know, do you think it's the headband from McLean?
Whatever works, just fucking keep it, because McLean, you are just godly right now. And then obviously we had Mullen get his second penalty kick.
Yep.
Rightfully so. That was by far
it was horseshit.
And then
shouldn't be doing that, mate.
And that was, Mullen's never missing those penalties.
No.
He belted that thing right into the back of the net. So, and then obviously there's a Scottish Viking Jesus that is Stephen Fletcher walking on defenders like Jesus walks on water.
He literally walked out, mate. He walked out off that bench exactly the way you just described. That's how he walked out off the bench.
I mean, the height he got to get that header was just nuts. I mean,
great.
If I could get that high before I'd sleep, I'd be sleeping like a baby.
That's it. But it is the pieces that are all coming together, and it is the trial and error that has to happen throughout the year. So, like we said, the Parky naysayers are nowhere to be seen now, because they're realizing, the games that we were dropping were because of experimental decisions of players who, are fighting for their spot, and you can't knock. There's so many games in a season. It'd be dumb to be playing the same lineup every week. So for him to adapt the way he has, and it's so funny that the forward lineup at least is just like, it's like National League, like fucking of old. Like it's just like, oh, okay, so Mullen and Palmer, that's it. We didn't need to put Marriott there, or we didn't need to put Dolby there. We didn't need, none of these people needed to be there. But Fletcher coming off the bench is just a given. It's a given now. And I know that everyone wants as much Fletcher time as possible. But if we can have a firing Palmer or a firing Mullen and then them come off and bring on a Fletcher as the replacement, you're telling me that Fletcher is the replacement for one of the duo? Fuck that shit. Like if I'm an opposition team and I'm already spent, I'm running out of gas, and I see fucking Scottish Viking Jesus 6'4" or whatever he is, he's probably not, but tall as fuck, walks past you, and you're just like, I can't catch a break. We're going to get fucked. And that's what happened. You're right. We had the number. The
And
Shrimps. Oh,
didn't Elliot Lee look desperate for a goal?
yeah, he's hungry at the moment.
Desperate for a goal. He was getting in on everything towards the end.
Hungry.
Him and Stephen Fletcher playing a bit of hot potato for a little bit.
Yeah,
Trying to find a way through, but he just looked desperate. He was going for everything, and
everything at all.
I feel bad that I feel sorry for him that he couldn't get it in the back of the net. But I mean, you could tell he really wanted a goal. He was
Yeah.
hungry.
That like
Um,
it's that him and Palmer have a similar kind of vibe at the moment where it seems like the more they don't get it, the more they're just going to go back harder again. I know, and I feel like Elliot Lee more so than Palmer, but Elliot Lee is obviously hungry at the moment because he went from like he was leading the league at one point, with goals. Like I know it was early on, but like he was leading the league with goals. And anyone was looking at him like, holy shit. And he would be setting a high bar for himself. He would be walking off the pitch saying, I should have got something from that. But he'll be happy with the team, of course. But he is very similar to Palmer in that regard. I feel personally, I don't know them, but just from a visual standpoint, they do seem like players that beat themselves up a little bit by not getting it.
well,
And that makes them hungry for the next time.
funnily enough, I mean, Palmer is very much, from what I've seen over the last two games, he's very much a team player.
Of
Now, what
course.
I've seen him doing is Elliot Lee's been having issues where he's been getting fucking man sandwiched, right? Two up, three up sometimes.
Hmm.
Whenever he gets the ball, seems to be an opposition threat
Yeah.
that you know they try and shut him down. But now Palmer's in there, and I've noticed Palmer drifting up a little bit higher. And what that is doing is drawing that defender off him,
Yep.
opening up Lee because they think Palmer's more of a threat going forward. So it frees up Lee to be more effective. And that's effectively what we've seen over the last two games is Lee be that little bit more effective because Palmer's doing his job and he's doing it so well.
That
To
was his
fucking
role.
start.
It was his role the entire fucking since the day he signed, which was he's either there to kick goals or there to draw defenders. That's it. That's his job. It's not to be a playmaker. It's not to be, of course, these are all bonuses, but his paycheck, if you were to put something other than footballer or whatever the fuck they put on the checks, but like I would be putting literally goal scorer slash drawing defender. That's his role. And I feel like he does it really well. And so does Fletcher is as well. But I love the fact that people haven't really clicked on that yet, have they? I mean, they try to get Fletcher and they try to go, I'll draw myself to him. I'll go to him. And he's just taller than everyone. So it doesn't matter.
Oh, good old Palmer. He's the meat in a midfield sandwich.
That's it. That's it, mate. That's it. He gets a raw end of the deal, much like what Lee's been getting lately. But he's been dealing with it his entire Wrexham career. Is getting the shirt tugs. Like if he was a foot shorter, there would be so many fouls called on him. But because he can hold his own, because he's a bigger bloke, they don't call it. And I know I might be sounding biased and like whinging, but it is happening and it is becoming more and more apparent. So I'm hoping, another good reason to get promoted would be, see if there's a different league of referees.
Oh, that's right. Well, brilliant game.
Yeah,
Brilliant game. So good to
loved
have
it.
our form back. Let's hope that this is the start of a real good run. 10 games to go.
Mm,
Only
mm,
10 games to go. More home than away, I think. And with the results getting a little bit shifty at the moment. I mean,
mm.
Stockport nearly fucking dropped it, didn't they? We could have been
But
second in the league.
Yep, but they get a 93rd minute goal, and that's how it ends. But I know that, and I know I can tell in your voice you'll be segueing to the next segment. But I do want to bring on one last thing, just about the Shrimps and just their state of affairs right now. The club itself, they've been going through very similar to what Wrexham went through back in the day. Their club is basically maybe a little bit different, but it's up for sale. And you will have seen before the game there was a march, and actually a lot of Wrexham fans joined in. So I just want to commend not just Wrexham fans, obviously, for joining in, but what Morecambe's doing, which is standing fat with their team, which sticking by them, that's loyalty. And that's why teams like Morecambe need to exist. They need to be thriving. And right now, unfortunately, yes, their results might be good at the moment. They've been having a good run, but what's happening behind closed doors is not. So I don't know if we have any power right now or to do anything, but I hope one Shrimps fan is listening and knows that what their club has is very special. And I know they know that, but I really, really hope and wish for them the best. I'll be keeping an eye on them for sure. And I know you will be too.
Oh, yes, I do. We do wish Morecambe the best. I mean, Russell Crowe,
That
hey,
one.
get on it.
Hugh Jackman, I don't know, one of them. Didn't we say that Vin Diesel was listening the other way?
Oh
So Vin
yeah,
Diesel,
yeah,
if you're
Vin
out there,
Diesel,
mate.
get on it.
Well, I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury is a Shrimps fan.
Oh, there you
So
go.
possibly, he could get involved. But my point is that needs to happen. So people who see those posts on social media, don't just scroll by and ignore it. Wrexham literally wouldn't be existent if it wasn't for the fans and the other clubs that helped us as well back in the day. We weren't a part of it then, but we want to be a part of what's happening with Morecambe now and help them. So I'll be retweeting stuff. So if you see that, get around them and see if we can help them out. I know that we have no standpoint. We're not huge, famous people, but if we can get the word out there, that's better than nothing.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so let's talk about our next game. Up next, let's go. Woo! All right. So we're coming back to the race course. We got two home games in 1 week. First up, Harrogate Town. Now, Harrogate, they are supposed to be the second most threatening away form team. But they're
Well, they
coming to
are.
the race course, and everyone that's come to the race course so far that's supposed to be threatening, aka Barrow, um, um, and other teams that have come.
Other teams.
I don't know. My mind's just fucking woo at the moment. But look, people come to the race course. We don't make it easy for them. We are the best home side up against the second best away side, but they have had a bit of a stumble in form lately. So, ooh, this one's going to be interesting. What do we see happening here? Does Parky go with the same team? I would. I
Yeah,
would
I
not
wouldn't be
change
going
it.
with any changes or any resting, any bullshit like that. I know that it's a couple days later. I know that that's just the way it is. And sometimes we do need to rest because of that. But I wouldn't be resting against Harrogate, the second best away form team, something like 7 away wins. But basically, they are one of, if not, yeah, the best away form team at the moment. Yes, it is the race course, but crazier things have happened. We know that game against, MK Dons at the start of the year, obviously being the first game. I know we can't really take that into account. We had a different fucking lineup at that point. Scottish Viking Jesus wasn't there. We didn't have,
We had a
all
granddad
the
in goal.
exactly. We had a bit of a different lineup, but when it's all said and done, the biggest thing for me is what resting is done because it is a couple of days later. I wouldn't rest it. I would just maybe do it the week after. I don't know, but these are important games to win. Best lineup on the park against a Harrogate side who will be hungry to make a run here. They'll be pretty keen to get a win against us. And what we drew last time we played them, so that shows that they did play well against us. If we had have beaten them away, I would be pretty much confident in a big win. But I think we'll still win, but it will be testing and trying times. Who do you think would be rested, if anyone?
Oh, if anyone.
If anyone. You might not. You might say to me, Adrian, why would he rest it? But it is, in reality, as much as I wouldn't want to rest anyone, it is all about the bodies. It's all about what are we at 3 days later after a game, 4 days later? You know, it can sometimes come down to that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we will see a bit of a Dolby comeback because Parky likes to
Yeah.
bring Dolby in for some reason, even though it's clearly proven it doesn't work.
Yeah, but he's a kid, and he. I mean, when I say he's a kid, he's what, mid-20s. He's got time to work on it, and sometimes these are the games when we don't have an option to play the full 90. But in saying all of that, I would suggest we have a pretty good side to do it, and we've actually got people like Marriott. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if I
who's yet to score, mind you.
Yes, but I would be, hypothetically, let's say Mullins pulled up a bit sore or Palmer's pulled up a bit sore. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Marriott start. I don't think we'd see Fletcher start. I feel like that'd be a bit silly. Continue to give him the off the bench minutes just because hypothetically we end up playing playoffs. You want to make sure that they've had that dress rehearsal of bringing him on in the 80th minute or 70th minute and him doing the damage that he does. We just need to make sure we've got that rotation, until I say the bigger games, but I mean the games against the pet teams above us, a la Mansfield and Stockport.
Yeah. So what do you reckon is going to happen? What's your score prediction?
I'm going to go with 2-0 to Wrexham. And that's not to discredit Harrogate either. They could and may score against us. But I just think Parky knows now that this is the 10 games to go. If you don't want to be playing playoffs, you need to be playing your full strength for these next 10 games and just bringing it home and staying in that top 3, because that fucking MK Dons clipping at the heels is not a nice feeling. And if we allow any movement of that kind to happen, especially at home, that's going to be dejecting and be a very hard thing mentally to bring into playoffs.
If
exactly,
because everyone's going to be chomping at the bit now. It's 10 games to go. The run-in's quite a an interesting one. I am going to go 3-1.
Same score as the Morecambe game.
I was going to go 3-0, but then I thought, oh, they do kind of have some talent up front. So
they have Armstrong.
I'm going 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1. They had Armstrong.
Yeah, I know. That's the joke.
All right, and then on the weekend we got the Derby. Tranmere at home again. The Derby, tomato, penis, penis, however you say it.
The Derby. Love it.
So that's this weekend. Also another one we got to give our prediction for, and it's going to be tough because we're obviously predicting 2 matches in advance, and it really just depends on how we go.
Yeah, we could shit the bed against Harrogate, but smash Tranmere. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Let's hope for both. I'm at for Tranmere.
Back at the racecourse as well, which is like, when is I can't remember the last time we had 2 games in a row at home.
Oh, it feels good. I tell you what, I love it whenever they play at the racecourse. It's just better.
Yeah.
But Tranmere, I'm actually going to go 4-0.
Yeah, they've been pretty shit lately. They have put up pretty good, didn't they? I don't know. Did they beat Crew? Can't remember. But they've had some weird, wonderful games. But yeah, across the board they haven't been as well. I do want to bring up something in terms of the run-in with Tranmere. I am actually just going to be reading it direct so I don't butcher it. So, team form, Tranmere. They have beaten Stockport 4-0. They've beaten the top of the ladder, top of the table, second of the table, whatever it is, one of the top flight fucking teams in this league, beaten them 4-0. But then they've gone up against Forest Green and lost 1-0. Then they've lost against Swindon 3-1, beat Sutton 1-0, and drew with Gillingham. Now, that is the most sporadic set of games I've seen from a side in a very long time. That's not Wrexham, really, if you think about it. So look, they've come into a rough patch. If it was away, I would be saying, it could be a draw, could be a 1-0 win, very tasty. But I'm with you. I'm thinking a big one. I'm thinking 3-0. I think 2 clean sheets is what we need, and I don't think Parky's gonna make a mistake there.
Two
He's gonna
clean
make sure.
sheets. 2 clean sheets will be one hell of a statement.
Hell of a statement.
That
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 basically will claw us back
that
into
is
staying
literally
there.
us saying to Stockport and Mansfield, you better not fucking lose because we're just going to start winning.
Mm-hmm. And it just sucks that we conceded so much at the start of the year. Like, think about all the 15 goals we conceded in the first 4 matches, whatever it was. Like, I'm like looking at it now. If you look at the table, and this will obviously change after the like any game, it will change after the next game. But you look at the game. So, for example, Mansfield on top with 69 points. Hello. But they've played 36 games. Stockport have a game in hand. They're on 66 points. But yes, but their goal differences. Mansfield is 39 plus. Stockport is 30 plus. Now, unless Mansfield takes a hiding and we start taking teams to the sword, we won't beat their goal difference. But the good way to be doing it would be to somehow beat Stockport's goal difference. Now, we're 9 goals behind, but if we start winning, they start losing. We do some damage against them when we play them in that last fixture. Possibly it could come down to that. And we sit on 66 points as well, but unfortunately we've played our game in hand, so we're at 36 games. MK Dons actually have played an extra game than everyone, so they're sitting in 4th on 64 points, but they've played 37, and their goal difference is 13. So again, they're probably out of touching distance from us with goal difference. So it's all going to come down to points, really, hypothetically, between that 4th, 3rd, and 2nd spot. Maybe we could touch a goal difference of Stockport. Maybe if we can do some damage against some teams. I just don't see us making a 6-0 win anytime soon.
Couple of 4-0 wins, 3-0 wins. We could get up there pretty quick. It could change.
Well, you could, yeah, but I'm more thinking about Stockport. You've got to assume that they're going to take damage. If they don't take damage and they're taking, 2-0 wins, whatever it might be, that's adding to that goal difference. So I've got
a
their
little stat
losses
for you just before we go to the end of this podcast.
Do it.
Just to end this segment, Mansfield currently in 69th position in the ladder. Overall, obviously, we're over the whole league on 69 points. 69th position, 69 points. That's a good time. Hey.
Yeah. Hey, so let's let them stay on it. Let's let them stay on it, not the 69th position, but let's let them stay on the 69 points and not gain another point for the rest of the season. That'd be great.
All right, now let's wrap things up after this. Woo! So apparently we have a really good player named Andy Cannon.
The Lion Man.
The Lion Man. I tell you what, he is making a case for player of the season. He's doing
for
well.
Wrexham. Yeah, for sure.
He's doing very well.
100%.
I am very keen to see what he is going forward. And then I learned the interesting stat the other day that he has if we get promoted this year, which is looking highly likely, this will be his
3
third
back-to-back
promotion in a row.
Yeah.
3 promotions. This dude knows what it takes to get promoted.
And I honestly, man, I tweeted out this week, literally yesterday, I said, Andy Cannon, the Royals never came to the race course when we didn't have Andy Cannon. Andy Cannon arrived on December 9, I think. I want to say the Royals arrived around the 20th, close, like around that time. So a couple of days later, they saw Andy Cannon. And then what else happened? We got another Royal coming down. Now, I'm not saying we hail it. I'm just saying they're looking at us and they're going, that's the Lion King. That's the true king. And they're realizing that's the kind of status they need to be at. So I don't think it's a coincidence that, yeah, that's happened. And now look at him, look at him absolutely shine. And I was his biggest critic at the start of the year because I saw his potential, but I just thought he was letting himself down because he was making reckless decisions, cards that plenty, just screwing it up for himself, and he wasn't scoring. And I think what's hilarious is I think his first goal for Wrexham was actually against Harrogate. So that is a handy little fact to bring in. Handy Andy canon fact. The Lion King, aka just God, man, he's going to be the Prince of Wrexham. He's going to be coming in, and I'll be real, man. You are right. He could be best. He's definitely most improved, but he's also probably got to go with one of the best of the season. And I think
this is going to make
could
for a
that.
very, very interesting end of season. Two Beards Wrexham podcast rewards. I tell you what. Stay tuned for that because we're going to have a few
Yeah,
new categories this year. We're going to put some thought into it. And we're
okay.
going to have some good debates. Might be a little bit of a civil war happening here, but
Nah, I think we've really aligned this towards the end of the season. We were divided at the start. And by that, I don't mean like we're at each other. I mean, we were at each other's throats, but that's a whole different story. We were more, in terms of, we just had differing opinions because it was a bit of doom and gloom at the start. And I was quite critical. Rousey's a bit of grass, the grass is greener. Don't worry. It'll be better. It'll be fine. The sun will come out. Don't worry about it. And look, we've both been right, but we've also both been wrong. So it's just quite interesting to see. And you know why I say that is that our opinions are starting to align. I'm starting to be more optimistic. You're starting to be a bit more realistic. And now all of a sudden we've met in the middle. And I reckon score predictions, we've been getting pretty close together. Our players of the seasons, our favorite players, even our favorite players right now, I would say at least 4 out of our 5 favorite players of Wrexham, we would have in common.
I'll say this though. I will say this, and I'll put this out there into the universe.
He's going to say it again.
No. I'm just going to say I'm going to word this in a way that I don't know. I guess brains will understand, but okay. So we're coming into the final 10 games of the season, right? It is tooth and nail at the top. It is tight. This kind of feels like last season for us. Now, that said, the pressure that we had on us from last season to go up, to win, to be that very top spot was immense. It went right down to the wire pretty much. It was absolutely immense. We're pretty much in a similar position now, but with probably 4 teams vying for the top 3 spots. Now, we're in that position. They're going to be feeling the pressure because they know that we're coming. They know that there's other teams vying for those spots as well. It's now, and they haven't had to deal with that pressure before. Mansfield hasn't had to deal with that pressure. Stockport hasn't had to deal with that pressure. MK Dons definitely hasn't had to deal with that pressure. Maybe the pressure of a relegation battle from last season, but completely different type of pressure. Now, who's going to crack? I can guarantee you one or two of those teams are going to crack. And we've got the experience from going up through the National League, setting the record points tally, being pushed all the way. We've got that experience to know what it takes to pull through. So I'm just going to leave that one there.
Wow. And to counter that ever so poignantly is Stockport had been through it as well. Last year they went to the last game of the season in the playoffs and missed out on promotion. They went down to the wire. I think they missed out on top 3 by something stupid, like something really crazy. I think it might have been goal difference. I can't remember, but Stockport are pretty much similar, I feel. Then Mansfield, I don't know too much about the history of late. And obviously MK Dons, plastic motherfuckers went down. So the pressure for them is a different sort of pressure. I agree. You're right. Someone's going to crack. I just think it's going to be interesting to see who it is because, Wrexham have, ignoring last year, previous seasons had been the team that cracked. Grimsby losing to Grimsby in the semi-final, basically costing top of the league against when Stockport were in the league as well. When teams like that were running around with us, they unfortunately had our number. This is different. You're right. We had the experience of it, but they're all to play for. 10 to go. It is huge. It has never been bigger. And we say it every year. How's it going to get topped? Well, look, it's not going to be last year. Well, look, there's 4 teams now. That's a different sort of pressure. You can't be watching one game. You're looking at 3 different scores, So that's what I'm going to be looking at during the week. And that's what I'm going to be chewing my nails off for, is just to see how those other games settle. Because right now, we need to make sure we win. As long as we win, we stay in that hunt. The minute we start dropping, then we have to be worrying about those other games.
That's right. Well, let's end this podcast here on that note. We will go out with a bit of a bang. It's been a good episode. You got to see Rousey rap and me put my creative brain to good use, and we got to talk some good feels, and it's a good time.
Good time, man. It was a
Let's
good win.
go. Let's back the boys. Make some noise this week. Let's fucking kick ass tomorrow and on the weekend. So Harry, Tranmere, we are coming for you. So let's hope that by Saturday we might be top of the league. We will see. It's a possibility.
Bring them clean sheets, boys.
Clean sheets for days.
Clean sheets so that we don't have to have clean sheets. Hey.
That's right. All right, guys. We love you. Thank you for joining us if you got to this point. Just remember, twobeardsmedia.com. Anything you want to reach out to, talk about, drop us an email or drop us a comment below.
We're talking to you, Simon Jordan.
Like and share and subscribe the absolute shit out of this episode if you like it. And Beard Brethren, Sheilas, fuckheads, and just all-round legends. We will see you guys next week on Two Beards Wrexham Podcast. Let's go. Woo!
Let's go, boy.